Hello community, I hope you are doing good in this session. I'm going to show you how to import bulk orders using CSV file. And in case in previous discussion about how to import bulk records using Excel file, list check link is given in the description. If you want to learn more about Odoo, you can visit the WebLearns channel. Under the home screen, you can see Odoo 17, 18, 19 development tutorial. This is the main playlist and the topic wise playlist available here. You can see like this. Plus, you can also go to the courses and you can review this main course. All right. And yes, like guys, if you didn't subscribe this channel, please subscribe. It will help you a lot. Plus, you will get the latest notification about the upcoming sessions. Last time I told you, right? Like I will provide you a bulk import using async using job queue. But let me first postpone that session later. Like in our next session, the thing is like you already know how to import bulk orders using Excel file, right? But now let's see main another logic using the CSV file, right? So here, let me go to the contacts, right? Let me go to here in the filters created on, let's say after like 28 maybe, right? See this 50 record, right? Let me delete this all the records first. So right now what we have is the default 45 records, including like not including but exclude archive these 3 records. So total 48 record is available here. Now using this feature, right? When we upload from here, we are using Excel file, right? So let me go to here. You can see this Excel file. So let me first cancel this one, right? And let me go to here and let me open this file. So this 50 record is available like this way, right? Now let's save as. Oh well, I want to add into the CSV file like this, right? In the same folder, save, close, and now you can see the CSV file is here. Now you can see here two file is there. One is the CSV and another is this one. Let me import. So I will get the error message, right? File is not a zip file. So basically it's trying to let's say get the file, right? And it's raising the error message. That actual file is not available here, right? Specifically this logic is for the Excel file, but what about the CSV file, right? So for that, first thing is we can import here, import CSV. So CSV package we have to import, right? After that, what we can do is here, first thing is we can use file name. Like what is that specific file name, right? So we can do is like self dot file name. You can see this one, right? Or let's say blank in case somehow the file name is blank, right? So we can use like this. The thing is we have to convert it to the lowercase. I actually provide you the reason, right, why we are going to create a lowercase here. Actually, we have to match the file name extension using in the lowercase only. So let's say if file name dot. So we have another, let's say the method, right, in a string ends with. If it is a XLX, right, then what we can do is like we can, oh, sorry, use everything here, right? But let's say if file name ends with the CSV, then here we have to provide the CSV logic. So for that, we can use here file data equal to base64 decode, right? And the file name. Then after CSV data equal to, right? And here IOStream, this file, and decode with UTF-8. So let me print here the CSV data, right? Let me restart the service. Let me import. right? So you can see the object is printed, right? But don't worry about the error message. Still it's going because the rows is not available, right? Now here we can use reader equal to, right, the CSV disk reader and the CSV data we have to import, and then let print this reader variables, right? Let me blank this and re-import. Now you can see like this, right? And what we can do is right now here, like the rows, right, in a list reader, let's say rows. Here we can add abc dot 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 like this, so it will having an error message. Oops. So what we can do is abc only, so it will generate a runtime error message, right? All right. Now you can see, right? Now the problem is, you can see here in this dictionary, right? The name, it says UFEFF and then name, right? Here we can say semicolon, right, and finish. All right, so still it's not available a proper way. So what we can do is like, sorry, comma, not a semicolon. My bad, actually. Save. Let me go to here, re-import. Now you can see, right? But the problem is here you can see it's fucked up, the format, right? And it says /t here, right? So let me minimize this one. So let me minimize this one. So here you can see the CSV dictionary did, right, reader. So here simple we can use is like delimiter /t. And now you can see, right? Now it's coming the proper data. See, name, city, phone. All right. Now what we can do is here, like we can comment it out, and let me restart one more time, right? And once I will import, so it's successful import. One, let me refresh the page, and now you can see 95 the code is available. You see, the name is available, email is available, phone number is available, the street is also available, right? City and the country. The rest logic is the same, right? This one. Now let's optimize this part. All right. So here, what we can do is here we can do is like create a generic method that's like get rows from Excel, right? And same for CSV. So here, let me cut this one here. Let me cut, sorry, not this one, this one here, and copy this one, self dot this one, self dot CSV, right? Like this, but here return rows, return rows, right? and here rows equal to right. So we have like rows whether it is from here or here, right? And that's it. Now let's do one more time. So let's say creation on today, all 50 record we can delete, right? We can again re-import, refresh, see all the 50 record is available, right? Let me delete this one. Let me re-import using this Excel file, right? So our test case also successfully done using the CSV file, right? So in a CSV file, we have to write down only 4 lines of code. Exclude this print statement. This is for our reference purpose. Right now we used here, right? And we are simple returning here, and the existing logic remains same, right? So what we did is, let's say if you are a first time you are watching this video and you didn't watched our previous session, so this is a specifically a wizard, right? This is the form view. You can see this is a form view. This is the Windows action, and this is the menu, right? This is the action underscore report, which is this method. So once that button click, automatically this method will call. And here we use two fields, file and the file name. Why we used file name? Because when we choose any file, so it will automatically store here the file name using this file name attribute, right? Okay. And then after we are checking the file name, whether it is XLSX file or CSV file. If it is this one, then we can call this method. I already explained this logic, right? How it works. Then after, like if it is a CSV file, then this method will call. This method is this one, right? We already saw in this session. And then after, like we have a partner and the country object we initialized before this for loop. So in the rows, we have a list of tuple. In each tuple, we have a name, right? We have a, let's say, name, city, phone number, email, address, and the country. So country is the name here, right? But in Odoo, this country is a many to one field. Let me active the developer mode, right? So you can see here country underscore ID is the field, many to one, and res.country is the model name. So that's the reason we used here country as a initial object. And first we will check country is available, then we will match the same name, right? If it is not available, then it goes like it will return as a false. So here we still also check if it is a country, right? Then we can use as a .id or else none. When after the name, city, phone, email, and street, right? This is the pollen names we are getting from the CSV or Excel file. And this is the field name of the res.partner model, right? And we will check again whether it is a duplicate or not if using the email field, right? If it is found as a any, let's say, a duplicate, then we are trying to write the whole, like all these fields, or else it will create a new record, and that's it. And those are the sub methods is there, right? So that's it for today's session. And our upcoming session would be like how we can implement job queue in this feature, right? Using a large data. Right now, I show you 50 data, right? 50 records you can see here. But in our upcoming session, we can see the maybe approximately 500 or 1000 records data. I hope you understood this topic. And if you still have any doubt related to this topic, please comment below and I will get back to you. And meanwhile, you can practice this session. All right. So see you in our upcoming session.